I'm Max, and this right here is my Jeep. Check it out.
Max here from RockJock. You've probably seen me on our YouTube videos and some of our social media stuff, or maybe even some of the Flex Rocks and Rollovers events like their Hell and Back Adventure and their 24 Hell and Back. Or you might have talked to me on the phone, because I do sales. Anyways, we're here today to take a deeper look into my 1982 Jeep Scrambler-ish custom thing. I built this about 10 years ago, did all the work myself. Have a really nice Aqualoo aluminum tub. I had it custom built by those guys up in Canada. I got the tub built with boat side rockers. The rear wheel wells moved all the way up to the top of the belt rail without any wheel opening in the back. What that enabled me to do was set the wheelbase where I wanted it to be. A lot of that was dictated by the placement of the gas tank and a few other things. At the time that I built it, I really wanted a CJ front clip to just have that classic CJ8 Scrambler look. But at the time, nobody was making a highline fender for the CJ grill. So I talked to the guys at Aqualoo, and while they were doing all this custom work on the tub, I asked them if there was a way to do the CJ windshield frame so that dimensionally from there back, it had the ability to fit a best top CJ8 super top soft top. And so that worked out perfect. They did a TJ grill here, so they matched the radius here and the body line of the TJ, which enabled me to run Genrite's highline fenders. I tried to keep the build as low as possible and still fit a 42, and running this fender enabled me to do that in the front. The rockers are aluminum. I built those custom myself. Up front, running nothing but the best. Warn 8274. Found this thing used. It's an older 8274. I went all through it, rebuilt it with parts from Warn, updated the motor to the 9500 Ti motor and new electronics, new winch remote, new brake. I've also got their synthetic rope with the Factor 55 Ultra hook. Genrite aluminum bumper. I love this thing. It really kind of completed the look I was shooting for with the grill hoop. Baja Designs lights, LED headlights, obviously our aluminum anti-rock sway bar. The front steering I built, it's all heavy wall DOM and Heim joints. The track bar is using all Johnny joints in it. All of the suspension brackets on the axle and the frame are from Genrite. I really like the way that their front lower control arm bracket incorporates the air bump into that. That really worked out really well. It's got a Curry 9-inch front axle with Curry's aluminum Super Duty knuckles. It's got all Yukon 35 spline chromoly shafts with Yukon super joints and Yukon hardcore locking hubs. Nothing but the best drive shafts. Tom Woods has taken care of me for 25 years, so that was an easy decision when it came to the drive shafts. Those are all built by them. They're 1350 series drive shafts. Protecting the True High 9 third member in the front is a WFO third member skid plate. I've bashed that thing and beat it on rocks all over the place. That thing is killer, absolutely killer. Front's got an ARB air locker with 514 ring and pinion. It's got aluminum links and Johnny joints on all of the suspension links. The aluminum links were built by Brannick. Coming down the side here, it's got an aluminum skid plate that's pretty flat, goes all the way up to the crank pulley. I built that myself. The aluminum boat sides, everybody asks me about these boat sides, who makes them, where they came from. I made those myself. I had a machine shop local to me break the aluminum, and then I trimmed them and cut them to fit. I've got Savvy aluminum trail doors. I love those things. I've had those since I first got the tub. The rear suspension is a trailing arm setup. I'm running sway away 14-inch, 2.5-inch remote reservoir coilovers. The rears I de-stroked to 12-inch, and it's netting about 22 inches of wheel travel in the rear. Anti-rock sway bar in the rear with our aluminum arms. I upgraded just recently to our new sealed rod ends on the sway bar end links. In the back, I've got Genrite's LJ Safari gas tank. It holds 31.5 gallons. That gas tank is basically what dictated what the wheelbase ended up being and where I cut the wheel opening in the rear. As long as that gas tank is, it netted me 114 inches of wheelbase, so just a couple inches shorter than a four-door JK. When I started this build, I wanted to have a Jeep that could do all things really well, whether it was trail riding, rock crawling, pre-running, going fast in the desert, or just driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour. And this Jeep checked all those boxes. It wasn't easy to get all of those things and get it to perform really well in all of those scenarios. But I've been extremely pleased with how this thing turned out. Coming around the back, I've got Savvy taillights. I've got a Savvy rear bumper. I cut out the wheel wells to accept a 42 or 43 inch full-size spare in the bed. I don't run a tailgate because I had to have the area to push the tire back far enough to run a back seat. This sits 4 adults or me and my wife and our 3 kids across the back seat. I've also got this aluminum basket rack. I made this to match the Poly Performance Baja basket. I loved that design, but they didn't have one in the dimensions that I needed for this rig to haul the gear that I wanted to haul. Once the full-size spare went in the floor, I lost a lot of precious cargo space, so the basket rack enabled me to get some of that space back. Normally, I have a swag box on the back here for my tools, and I keep a freezer fridge on the other side of the basket, and then I can fit camping gear and recovery gear, like all my Factor 55 recovering gear back here in the basket where it's really easy to get to when I need it off-road. The cage I custom built myself, rolled the tubing for the roof, same with the aluminum roof panel. Another thing everybody asks me about are these aluminum clamps that hold the roof panel on. I wanted to have an aluminum roof for the shade and just for extra protection if it ever did roll. But I also wanted to be able to take the aluminum roof off and not have a bunch of welded tabs. So these were brackets that I got from Synergy years ago. They might be discontinued now. I'm not sure if they still carry them, but this is a really, really cool trick way to do the roof. The dash I hand fabricated myself. The center console I fabricated myself. The drivetrain is an LS1 out of a 2000 Camaro, made it up to a 4L80 and an Atlas 2-speed race case. Howell Engine Developments is who did the harness to control the 4L80 and the fuel injection, and I have had 0 problems with any of the electronics with that harness. The body harness is a painless wiring harness. It's a street rod harness for a GM steering column. So I used a steering column with tilt out of a YJ to run that harness. That runs my headlights, my turn signals, everything else. PRP hooked me up with these seats. They're just about due. I've had this rig together now for 9 years, and they're just about due to get recovered. They've been killer. These were custom. They used a Cordura fabric. They've got side pockets, a removable seat cushion. They've got, water bladders on the backs of them. I love these seats. The harnesses are PRP as well. I've got a grab handle that I had custom made back when I had my off-road shop. So it has the name of my old shop on there. And that was made by CMM Off-Road. I've also got on the inside of the doors, I did Genrite's PRP door bags. I wish I would have done this 10 years ago. This is the newest thing I've done on this rig, and it's my favorite mod right now. Just being able to have somewhere to put my winch remote. It also holds a bottle of water or a drink. It's just great additional storage that I didn't have previous to that. One of the other things that I've got on the interior that I always take with me is my power tank. I've got it mounted on the inside of this wheel well right here. On the other side, in front of the wheel well, I have a power tank bracket that holds a small propane tank that runs my grill and a little fire pit that I have. The wheel and tire package that I'm currently running, it seems like my my tires are kind of all over the place. I've got 3 different Jeeps, and I'm always pulling tires from one to another. But currently, I'm running a Maxxis Razor MT. It's a 40, and it's on a KMC beadlock. These beadlocks I've had since I built the Jeep. I love this design, and the wheels have given me 0 problems for the 9 years I've been beating and bashing them off rocks. All right, let's come around here to the front. There's one more thing. I love this. I had a tree fall and kablamo the windshield frame and the hood right here. I got this nice little dent I need to get fixed. But this is an original steel AEV Highline hood. Needs a little touch up here. And that's my 1982 Jeep CJ8 Scrambler in a nutshell.